The adventure to the volcano. In a small village surrounded by mountains, there lived a boy named Jack. Jack was an adventurous and curious boy who loved exploring the forests and hills around his home. He dreamed of going on a grand adventure one day. One evening, as Jack was helping his father in the garden, he saw a bright light in the distance. It was coming from the top of the tallest mountain, where an old volcano called Mount Ember stood. The volcano had been silent for many years, but now it seemed to be waking up. "Father, look!" Jack exclaimed, pointing to the light. "Mount Ember is glowing." Jack's father looked worried. "That's not a good sign, Jack. If the volcano erupts, it could be dangerous for our village. We must be prepared." Jack couldn't stop thinking about the volcano. He wanted to see it up close and learn more about it. The next morning, he decided to visit his best friend, Emily, and tell her about his plan. "Emily, let's go on an adventure to Mount Ember," Jack said excitedly. "We can learn about the volcano and maybe even help the village." Emily was a brave and smart girl who loved adventures as much as Jack did. "I'm in," she said. "But we need to be careful and prepare well." They packed their bags with food, water, warm clothes, and a map of the area. Emily brought her notebook to write about their journey. They told their parents about their plan and promised to be safe. The two friends set off early in the morning. They walked through the forest, listening to the birds singing and the leaves rustling in the wind. As they climbed higher, the air became cooler, and the trees thinned out. After several hours of hiking, they reached a viewpoint where they could see Mount Ember clearly. The volcano was indeed glowing, and a thin plume of smoke rose from its peak. "We need to get closer to understand what's happening," Emily said, taking out her notebook to jot down their observations. They continued their journey, climbing higher and higher. The path became steeper and rockier. Jack and Emily helped each other, making sure they didn't slip or fall. Finally, they reached the base of the volcano. The ground was warm under their feet, and the air smelled of sulfur. They could hear a low rumbling sound coming from deep inside the volcano. "We need to be very careful," Jack said. "Let's find a safe spot to observe." They found a large rock that provided some shelter and sat down to rest. Emily wrote in her notebook, describing the sights and sounds of the volcano. Jack used his binoculars to look at the crater. As they watched, they saw small eruptions of ash and steam. It was a fascinating but also frightening sight. They knew they had to hurry back to the village to warn everyone. "We need to tell the village elders about this," Emily said. "They will know what to do." Jack nodded. "Let's go back quickly." They retraced their steps, climbing down the mountain as fast as they could. When they reached the village, they went straight to the village square, where the elders were gathered. "Mount Ember is waking up," Jack said, out of breath. "We saw eruptions of ash and steam. We need to prepare for an eruption." The elders listened carefully to Jack and Emily's report. They thanked the children for their bravery and quick thinking. The village began to prepare for a possible eruption. They gathered supplies, made plans to evacuate if necessary, and set up a watch to monitor the volcano. Over the next few days, the activity at Mount Ember increased. The villagers stayed alert, ready to leave if the situation became too dangerous. Jack and Emily helped by gathering food and water and assisting the elders. One night, a loud explosion shook the village. The volcano had erupted, sending lava and ash into the sky. The villagers quickly gathered their belongings and evacuated to a safe area away from the mountain. From their safe spot, Jack, Emily, and the villagers watched as Mount Ember spewed lava down its slopes. It was a terrifying but awe-inspiring sight. The lava flowed slowly, and thankfully, it did not reach the village. After several days, the eruption subsided. The villagers returned to their homes, finding that the village was mostly untouched by the lava. They were grateful for the quick actions of Jack and Emily, whose early warning had given them time to prepare. The village elders decided to set up a permanent observation post near Mount Ember to monitor any future activity. Jack and Emily were hailed as heroes for their bravery and curiosity. Jack wrote about their adventure in his journal, and Emily filled her notebook with detailed observations and drawings of the volcano. They knew that they had experienced something extraordinary and that they had helped their village stay safe. From that day on, Jack and Emily continued to explore the world around them, always ready for the next adventure. They learned that with courage, preparation, and teamwork, they could face any challenge that came their way. The story of their journey to Mount Ember became a legend in the village, inspiring future generations to be curious, brave, and ready to protect their community. And whenever they looked at the volcano, they remembered the adventure that had brought them closer together and made them heroes in their village.